Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across this platform, Linda's TV show. If it is your first time and you like what we are doing here, after watching this video, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notifications. In that way, you will be able to know when we upload a new video. I want to appreciate YouTube for creating this wonderful platform which we are using to disseminate information to the members of the public. At the same time, I want to put a disclaimer that here in Linda's TV show, I do not promote violence, I do not promote hate speech, I do not promote misleading information. Myself, I don't like it. We react to all forms of videos. So, I also want to remind YouTube that a call for self-determination is never a call for war.
President Trump tonight is threatening to take action against Nigeria for what he says is the persecution and killing of Christians. In a post on Truth Social, the president said he has ordered the Pentagon to begin planning for a possible military action. Trump warned he will also, quote, immediately stop all aid and assistance to Nigeria. Nigeria's president says his country is not religiously intolerant.
It is God at work. They were one in dealing with the Christians. After the Christians were not there, division came in. God said, I come down. You have touched my people. You have killed my people. You end up killing one another. Now, election is coming. That's why they are afraid. So the only thing, the Fulani are tools to destroy us, to kill us. There is genocide. It's in my car. It's in my car. And do you want me to show you evidence? It's in my car. It's right there. Come and see pictures of genocides, including small children. Very soon I will make a press release. I will present how small children are among those that are killed. I will present the recent killings that Nigerian government don't want the world to know. They are saying that I am opposing my own government, exposing them. Okay, are they not exposing us, the Fulani terrorists, by refusing to come to our aid when we cry out? It's exposing us. Let them continue killing us. Then they turn their face as if nothing is happening. They come out, Reno Cree, or what is that his name? He came out and said there is no genocide like that in Nigeria. That man, I've cursed him already. He will never know peace down to the grave. The blood of people that have entered my brain, I transfer them, my head, to his life. He will not escape. I want all Nigerians to know the man will never escape. He has been doing devious life to different government. This time around, he has crossed his line. If I exist without seeing God crushing that man, then I'm a bastard. Because the blood of people that are being killed in the north, for him coming out, he has crossed the line. He's finished. The only hope for him, that he will buy my heart. Let him repent. Let him repent. If Reno Amokari will repent, and those kind of officials that came out and denied there is no genocide, if they don't repent, oh no.
Greetings everyone. My name is MAP Eziokubundo 1. Recently, the news broke out that the President of the United States of America, in the person of Donald John Trump, has added Nigeria as a country of concern because of the ongoing slaughter, the ongoing massacre of Christians in Nigeria. And because of that, Nigeria will be sanctioned after the investigation which has been ordered by Donald J. Trump. And this news have been in circulation in many news platforms and many social media pages. But what actually drew my attention to this very particular event is one of the so-called DOS IPOB broadcaster. His write-up really drew my attention. But before I will show you what he said or what he wrote regarding this very event that is unfolding recently because of the Nigerian government, the way the northern region are slaughtering the Christian in the north and other part of the country, the ongoing genocide. Let me remind you of the video I made.
Now, some of you will say, oh, Donald J. Trump is going to fight for Christian. And I ask you again, is Christianity African religion? The answer is no. Donald J. Trump is going to fight for Christian. The reasons is because Christianity is his ancestral culture. That is his ancestral religion. That is their ancestral way of life. He is not doing it because of a black person. He is fighting for Christianity to preserve the way of his forefathers, to preserve his forefathers, his ancestors' culture. He is protecting their ancestral heritage, which is their culture. The Christianity is a yellow people's culture. It has no connection with African. Now, a lot of you will say, what of Israel that Donald J. Trump is fighting for? Israel have a lineage of the same America. Israel is a Jewish. America is a Jewish. They are brothers and sisters. Israel, America, Britain, and some of the Europeans are brothers. They have the same culture and the same ancestral lineage, which has no connection with Africa. And for that reason, Donald J. Trump is going to do everything within his power to fight for his people, his own brothers, North Africa. He never see Africa as his brother nor anything. If not, why do you think that for the past 4 years, Donald J. Trump was in power? That he never say anything.
Now, that was me over 9 months ago telling you that Donald J. Trump will definitely fight for his ancestral heritage, ancestral culture, their culture, the culture of America, the culture of the West. Because in as far as I am concerned and the world is concerned, America, Israel, and British are one people. Israel is just extended branch of America, and British is also extended family of America. So we must know that these particular 3 countries are one people, and they are doing everything humanly possible to make sure that they keep their mental slavery weapons intact, to make sure that they took the advantage of the vulnerable African people to collect or to extract their natural resources free of charge. Now let us come back to what prompted me to make this video. Right here, what you are seeing on your screen is one of the IPOB DOS broadcaster in the person of fearless evangelist Madabuchi. You can read his write-up there on top. I don't want to read it by myself. And when you see these things that he wrote, I will just pause it and read. Now here is his second write-up. He is trying to mock somebody who has waken up, both mentally, physically, and otherwise, who is fighting to stop the mental slavery and to make our people to face the reality. Now that is the write-up. And why I brought this very write-up to you is that this guy is not just alone. Over 80% of IPOB believe or have the same mentality. that Donald Trump speaking for Christianity is as the same as Donald Trump speaking for Biafra. Now, when you watch the write-up from this very guy, in other words, he is trying telling you that the Donald Trump is now fighting for Biafra, that the fight or trying to stop the genocide against Christianity is another fight for the restoration of Biafra. And I want to take my time to clear you on this. Fighting or trying to stop the Christian genocide that is happening in Nigeria has nothing to do with Biafra restoration. Both of them have no contact. It has no connection. These are two different things entirely. What Donald Trump is trying to do, he is trying to make sure that the mental slavery weapon used to pin Africa down must be preserved so that they will capitalize on it to be keeping Africa down. Because Africa, when you come to religion, we are vulnerable. We are prone to be used and dumped when it comes to religions. We have not waken up to face the reality. Now, the question everyone should ask him or herself is this: is Donald J. Trump fighting or trying to liberate and restore the freedom of the indigenous people of Biafra, or trying to make the Africa great? The answer is no, like I explained in the video you watch. Is Donald J. Trump trying to stop the West from marginalizing and subjecting African people to abject poverty and exposing them to danger of hunger and becoming terrorists? The answer is no. He is not trying to do that. Is Donald J. Trump interested in liberating Biafra people? The answer is no. So, Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want us to wake up and face the reality. The call for Donald J. Trump, the President of America, against the genocide committed or that is happening against Christianity has no connection or has nothing to do with Biafra restoration. It's not a call for Biafra restoration. And we must stop reasoning towards that way. When you watch or you read that very article written by Madabuchi Wanchuku or Madabuchuku Wanchuku, whatever it is called, you see that in his own mentality, it is the work of the failed DOS cabals that has made Trump to start acting or trying to stop the killings, the ongoing slaughter against the Christianity. It is very far from that. That is a total wrong narrative. He is trying to prostrate false information and false.
He helped galvanize me. As an Igbo man, I shouldn't have a trembling knee. I'm not an Igbo man with a trembling knee. So when you step on the rights of an upstanding Igbo man and it gets my attention, I'll fight for him. If I don't do it in the course, I do it on the streets. And I fight peaceably, but I'll fight strongly and vigorously. Because it's one for all for one. If I let that one sit up, if I sit it out, one day it may be my turn. I also fight for the Nigerians, but it gotta be Igbo first before I become a Nigerian. So I cannot be in denial that all is well with Igbo man in Nigeria. And Nnamdi Kanu is the poster boy for that.
How soon are we expecting freedom for him? Any hope?
It lies with President Tinubu. I hope someday, somewhere, a journalist will ask him that question. But I'll tell you what, when I see statements issuing from the villa, not in particular from Tinubu himself, from President Tinubu himself, but from his underlings, that this matter should be resolved by the courts, it gets me thinking, is someone somewhere contriving some predetermined result from the courts? What is informing this blind confidence about the matter of Nnamdi Kanu should be resolved by the courts? It begins to sound to me like someone who stole your election. And before you open your mouth, INEC tells you go to court. Like a mantra. You know, it's suspicious. Why wasn't Igboho's case resolved in the courts? Why wasn't the chairman of Miet Allah's case resolved by the courts? Why wasn't Shore's case resolved by the courts? So when they begin to insist that the matter of Nnamdi Kanu should be resolved by the courts, it takes me back to 1963, when they were also saying the same thing about the case of Obafemi Awolowo and Anthony Inahoro charged with treasonable felony. And they were facing a trial in which they had the option of taking summary trial or the other, but they pushed them into summary trial and convicted them with a bat of an eyelid. It was a political trial. They were also saying it should be resolved by the courts. So his conviction was contrived. We learned later from Justice Show that his hands were tied. So it makes you suspicious when the executive branch that is prosecuting you leaves no room for discussion other than telling you it should be resolved by the courts. Otherwise, why do we have that provision in Nigerian Constitution that the Attorney General can discontinue a criminal prosecution? Why is it difficult to apply that to an Igbo man when that very provision had been applied to non-Igbos in recent times, including by the present administration?
All right, let's move on. The issue of Nnamdi Kanu, we had sacking all his lawyers or firing all his lawyers, and including very senior advocate of Nigeria, Kanu Agabi, and other counsels from defending him. What are the implications and what is left for him?
Well, you know, using the word firing is not, I would say, debriefing and disengaging. It's a strategic move by him. He's a well-educated man, and he has his mind intact. He's fully aware of what he's doing. That's all I can say to that.
Why do you think the Southeast governors are not championing the cause of Nnamdi Kanu's release?
It's for them to answer, and it's quite shameful that is the conclusion that has been drawn since last year, when they declared in July last year that they were going to interface with the president on the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing has been done. So they just have to explain to Ndibo why they have not taken any step visible, seen. I hear a lot of things that some of them have taken some covert steps, but I didn't see that, but I don't have any reason to doubt them. But I think what needs to be done and what needs to be convincing is something you do in the open. If Southeast governors empanel themselves or convene themselves one day and say, this weekend we are going to Villa to discuss with President Tinubu on the question of this issue of Nnamdi Kanu, I think, you know, Ndibo will be very proud of them. That hasn't happened, and to me, it's not something that to be proud of.
Looking at the strategic moves you talked about right now, what is the current status of his defense?
Nnamdi Kanu believes that he has no case to answer, that there are no charges facing him. Listen, let me tell you a story. You know, you're not lawyers, but you know that once a law is repealed, it's repealed. Can you believe that the Terrorism Prevention and Amendment Act 2013 was repealed in July 2022? Nnamdi Kanu is still being charged under that old law, which was replaced in July 2022 by Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022. We're in 2025, and you're still trying him on an old law. Let's not talk about extraordinary rendition, because somebody might say, oh, the Supreme Court said, okay, he was rendition, but he's still subject to trial. But there are other issues dancing around that. What about the root fair hearing that was not given to him in Kenya? If Nnamdi Kanu was offered the due process of extradition in Kenya, he may not be here today, because there are a lot of defenses to extradition. within the extradition laws of any nation, including Kenya. So there are just so many issues, and he was discharged in October 2023. Okay? Now, this case took like a year and a half to get reinstated. And while that was going on, in fact, even at the Court of Appeal, the law was repealed. So what is he facing before the Nigerian judiciary now? Charges based on old law. It's for the courts to decide. But these are one of the, defenses in chief or cases in chief that are emanating from him, that are a challenge to his prosecution or his trial.
The judge handling the case has said he should consult very experienced lawyers to explain to him the implication of standing trial for himself, or I don't know that, or what it implies. So what is your own advice on this matter as it is now? Representing himself or going to seek for more serious advice?
He has legal consultants.
So what is he likely to do now?
Nnamdi Kanu will not be the first person to defend himself in a criminal trial. I can give you several examples. Martin Luther King did it in America. At some point, Gandhi, the father of non-violent resistance, did it in South Africa before he escaped to India. I think Mandela tried to defend himself too at some point. And in 1963, we go back to Awolowo again. Awolowo defended himself. He was assisted by some lawyers, including one from England, who was denied entry into Nigeria, but eventually he was granted entry. So Awolowo defended himself. So a lot of defendants, people who were subjected to criminal trial, have defended themselves in history. Nnamdi Kanu will not be the first. But that does not obviate the fact that he does not need the advice of experts. If he feels he does on any question of law, I think he's wise enough, smart enough to go for it.
Let's revisit the issue of IPOB. Yeah. Based on your submission about the Enugu High Court, talking about that it was unjustly, the process of prescribing IPOB was not right.
Was unconstitutional.
Was unconstitutional.
Yes.
So are you likely at any point in time to challenge this particular issue, or is it part of what you are going to drag into the case at any point in time?
Well, the prosecution of IPOB is before the Supreme Court right now on appeal. And Nnamdi Kanu is being charged based on the prosecution of IPOB. There's also a question amongst legal experts. Is it right under jurisprudence to subject a man to trial on a law that has not become final? What criminalized the IPOB activity and put Nnamdi Kanu in detention is the notion, the court order, that IPOB is a terrorist group. The court order proscribing IPOB. That court order, a lot of Nigerians don't know, is still under appeal. Section 36 sub 12 of Nigerian Constitution says no Nigerian should be put on trial except on the basis of a written law. Let us assume that the prescription of IPOB has become a written law. It hasn't become a final written law. It's still lying before the Supreme Court. These are some of the issues that I believe the executive branch should have looked at and say to themselves, well, what's the hurry? Maybe we should let this man go, because even the prescription upon which we are prosecuting him is not even final. It's not yet final. So these are the issues, the legal issues dogging his prescription.
My wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notifications. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.